Hi, boys and girls. So the second lesson for this week is multiplying a whole number and a mixed number. Now, this is actually where we left off in school, and we were a little bit iffy on this, so I'm actually kind of glad that you guys are going to have a good bit of time to work on this. So, because it is fairly challenging. So we had two methods to work on it when we were in school. I'm going to make it a little bit easier. We're just going to use one. Now, I know that some of us were a little bit more comfortable with one method over the other, but we're just going to use this for now. And this is the method I'm going to show you so we can solve these problems all in the same way so I can help you the best and if you have questions. So let me show you an example of a problem of how to solve this so you're able to do it on your own. So we have 5 times 3 and 1/5. Now, the way I'm going to solve this is I'm actually going to break this apart into two pieces. I'm going to have 5 times 3 plus 5 times 1/5. Now, you might notice I used one number twice. I want you to look at this. If you don't remember, take a look at it now. Which number did I use twice? I used the 5 twice. I used it here and I used it here. And the reason why I did that is because this is the distributive property. The distributive property gives some to this and it gives some to this. So we're using the distributive property here for this multiplication. So this kind of splits it up into two easier steps. So my first step is 5 times 3, which is 15. I'm still going to carry my plus sign down. And then I have 5 times 1/5. This might look familiar. This was our other lesson for this week. 5 times 1 is 5, and 1 times 5 is 5. Well, what do I have here? I have 15 plus 5/5. Basically, 15 plus 1. The answer is 16. So the way that we did this is we split it up using distributive property. We have the whole number and the other whole number here, and we have the whole number and the fraction. So we have the whole number and whole number here, whole number and fraction here. All right, let's look at another problem. 2 times 2 and 3/5. All right, again, I'm going to be splitting this up using the distributive property. I have 2 times 2 here, plus 2 times 3/5 here. I just took this 2 and I used it in each space. So my first step is 2 times 2 equals 4. My next step is 2 times 3/5. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 5 is 5. So I have 4 and 6/5. Now I have a problem. This is an improper fraction. So, and the numbers aren't too far apart, so I'm going to subtract 5/5 out. This is going to equal 5 and 1/5. Okay. 4 times 2 and 4/10. 4 times 2 plus 4 times 4/10. So I have 4 times 2 is 8 plus 4 times 4 is 16 and 1 times 10 is 10. 8 and 16/10. So I again have an improper fraction. I have to subtract my 10 out of 10. This is going to equal 9 and 6/10. Okay, and I'm going to do one more problem before I give you some practice problems. So if you're still unsure, make sure to watch my steps super close so you can see the process that I go through. 5 times 5 and 6/7. So I'm going to use my distributive property. 5 times 5 plus 5 times 6/7. Remember, this is the 5 I'm using twice. Don't get confused, okay? 5 times 5 is 25 plus over 1. 5 times 6 is 30. 1 times 7 is 7. 25 and 37. Now for here, my numbers are very far apart, 30 and 7. I don't want to subtract 7 a million times, so I'm going to skip count. So I have 7, 14, 21, 28. That's high enough. I know that if I go any farther, I'm going to go over. So that's 4 that I skip counted by. So I have to add 4 to my whole number, which is going to make it 29. And now I have to think 30 minus 28, which is 2 over 7. Okay, so this one was a little bit more challenging because we had to skip count. We had to do a little bit more for our mixed number, but our process is the same. All we do is we're splitting up and we're multiplying. I'm going to give you one problem here. 6 times 3 and 2/8. Go ahead and pause this video and go ahead and solve this problem on a separate sheet of paper. All right, so let's go ahead through this. 6 times 3 plus 6 times 2/8. We're using this 6 twice to distribute to each of our pieces. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 6 times 2 is 12 over 8. I have 18 and 12/8. Can't leave it like this. It's an improper fraction, but they're not too far away. So I can do minus 8 out of 8. So I have 19 and 4/8 as the final answer. Okay, make sure that you have this, and if you're not sure, then pause this now and see where your problem happened before we go into the next problem. Right, I'm erasing in 3, 2, 1. All right, so your next practice problem is 4 times 5 and 4/9. Go ahead and pause this video now so you can go ahead and solve this problem. Okay, so now that you've solved it, we're going to go through it. 4 times 5 plus 4 times 4/9. Okay, 4 times 5 is 20 plus 4 times 4 is 16. The plus sign does not look complete. 1 times 9 is 9. So I have 20 and 16/9. So I can just subtract 9 once. Minus 9 out of 9 equals 21 and 7/9. Again, make sure that you have that as your correct answer. If you have something different, please pause this and look where your problem happened. Please come to me if you have questions. If you're getting stuck on this video and you're having problems solving these on your own, you have an entire week to solve these problems. Okay, I will save this so we can have these problems to go through. If you want to go through these problems step by step, these exact same ones, then we can do that. I'm going to think of other ones as well. So if you come to me during my office hours, we'll solve problems together, okay? Before you go to your show what you know and your assessment problems for this lesson. All right, guys, send your work to me when you're finished.